Yo, this thing is kind of sick. What's going on, guys? Today we have the long anticipated bag review slash what my daily carry is. I know I kind of mentioned it last video, but we're gonna do it for sure this video. You guys just saw something really cool at the beginning, just kind of a little teaser, but we'll get into it. We're gonna start on what's in our backpack. So to start off, we have the Peak Design Everyday Backpack, not the zip version, the clipped version. This is the 20 liter. Personally, I like a smaller backpack, something that I can really make a lot of use of the space. So that's what I'm using. You already know we got the Wooting thing on, just because. Some of the outer stuff that I run are the Peak Design camera clip that I kind of clip off here and there. This thing really, if it decides to focus please, is really awesome. Just because I can essentially put a plate on the bottom of this camera and then just clip it on right here and it'll just kind of hold like that. The great thing about this backpack too is that it's got magnetic magnets within the straps, so it keeps the backpack nice and formal and like together, which is pretty sick. On the outside, you know, we always carry our water bottle. We also carry some just whatever, like random minute stuff, you know, chapstick, stuff like that. But that's pretty much all we really carry on the outside of the backpack. Some special guests to the outside of the backpack usually go on this side would be the Ronin, obviously the DJI RS3 Mini, which is what I'm actually using right now for this video. Honestly, I just wanted a cool intro, but I also use the Joby like push and direct little mouse, not mouse pad, but fucking tripod. Really cool, just kind of hold your camera out like this, and essentially that's what we do with it. Moving inside of our backpack, we got a couple big compartments here. Actually, open the other side up because you can see it a little bit better. But we run 3 main compartments, even though you can run 4. We have the bottom, the middle, and the top. The bottom is where I keep the Peak Design tech pouch. They only really make it in this one shape, and I pack this thing to the brim. Obviously, we got some Enema State stuff in there, but this is pretty much a guide on how to rob me. I'll go through pretty much everything I have in here. Starting off with my favorite, we have the ECM M1 microphone, if it would decide to focus. This thing is expensive, but it's got a bunch of little audio patterns in there that make it really worth it. We obviously got a really good windscreen, so very much one of my favorite mics that I've ever used for the most part. Inside, we always keep 2 batteries along with the Peak Design little double battery charger if it would focus, which is pretty sick. 2 batteries, always good to have one. Inside the camera right now, I do have a rechargeable USB NPFZ battery, which is the type of battery that these are. So that's like my run and gun type of shooting battery that I really don't care if it dies, but being that these don't have a USB-C charger on it and they can only be used through this one, they last a little bit longer than this USB-C chargeable one just because the battery size, but this thing is a saving grace. One, because you plug it into any cube, or you can plug, you know, your own USB cable in there and charge that, which is always awesome. The audio that I'm using for this is the Rode Wireless Go 2. This is just the receiver, this is just the microphone, but I have the other one right here. That's how you're hearing me. We got the receiver on the camera, but these are really awesome. Looking to upgrade to the Pro 2s. Once they become a little bit cheaper, those have the 32-bit float, which are really awesome. In here, we always have our lav mics. Those are always important. If I'm using these in a professional shoot, which is usually what I'm using this for, definitely using the lav mics. I got 2 of them in there for the 2 microphones. So just wireless lav goes, nothing too crazy. We got an extra brick for charging in case we need it, and a cable in case we need it. Inside, we have a really cool thing that I like to actually use my phone, which I don't have with me. So the next thing I got kind of loose in the bag is one of these Peak Design mobile clips. So essentially it's just like a zip tie looking kind of thing that you can just put pretty much around any like rod or pole or anything like that, and I mainly use it on my phone. I have the Pixel 7 Pro, a little bit of an older phone. I really don't care too much about phones nowadays, but back then I used to. Essentially, I can put that little cube thingy onto this thing and make it snug as a bug in a rug, just like that. And then when I need to, I just squeeze the sides, comes up just like that. I mainly use this to level a tripod if I really need to. If I'm playing on like rough terrain and I need to get my tripod down and I need to make sure it's leveled up and I need to, you know, level out the camera. This thing is really awesome because you run an app through your phone that will level the, essentially the floor, right? Or the camera angle that you have to run. This made a guest appearance last time I vlogged. It's pretty much an ND filter, variable ND filter. For those of you guys that don't know what that does, I will show you. So essentially it's kind of dark, but then you can kind of make it darker as you kind of roll it. So essentially that's what it does. If you're shooting a lot in the sun, which as you can tell, it is very bright outside, I usually run this one or a UV filter, which just essentially makes it easier on your lens to kind of process all the light. So that's what I usually run. Next up, we have one of the more important items in this entire bag, and every bag YouTuber will tell you to get an external SSD. I run the SanDisk G.Skill G Drive 2 terabyte. These are expensive, but the reason they're expensive is because they're water, wind, and pressure resistant. Now, I don't plan to throw one of these under a tank anytime soon, but if I were to get it like under a car or throw it into a suitcase that's not really well like packed, this is going to be very important, along with a USB. These USBs are really sick. I don't even know what to call them, but they're like USB-C to USB-A like adapter thingies. These are pretty sick. Make sure you have the fast strength on those. Inside here, in case we ever need to use my camera as a webcam, we got the Elgato Camlink 4K. You don't have to get this one. This one's kind of expensive, but you can pretty much get any Camlink nowadays. I'm really fortunate that this camera has a full-length HDMI, so it just plugs in through there, through whatever HDMI I can find, and we're good to go. Last but not least, we got a USB-A type SD card reader. Make sure you get a fast one. This one's from Platinum. Honestly, it's just whatever fit in my bag, to be honest, but this is very important. Some other light things, I got a body cap, so every time I'm switching lenses, my camera doesn't get dusty. Extra battery like protection clips, another Peak Design little Allen wrench. I mainly use it for the, if I could find it, there we go, the plate that goes on the bottom, and this one clips onto the strap, so that's what this is for. And that's pretty much it. I got some extra I should say SD card holders, but the only thing about the A7 IV is that these motherfuckers take a very strong SD card. Each SD card is like $200 for the cheapest one. So one SD card, imagine having three, that's like $500 in just a little piece of plastic with metal platings on it. So essentially, that's what's all inside the tech bag. I use most of this stuff almost every single day, if not every single day. This is all my to-go stuff. So I have stuff that I keep here at home. I'll probably show in a later video. I'll probably show it in like what I take to a production, but this is pretty much what I take to most productions anyway, since I have to be on the go. As far as the next component, honestly, it's kind of a variable of what I take in this middle component. One new thing that I recently got is the Sony Vlogger Kit handle. This is a pretty cool, like, digital little camera tripod. It's relatively small. It's similar to the Joby one that I had. It only opens up 3 ways like this, and then obviously you can change the angle of this bad boy with a button, but I mainly should use this as a wireless shooter, mainly because, as you can see right there, it's got pictures and video that I can just kind of click remotely. This doesn't have to be connected to my camera. I actually just use it all wirelessly. So if I click this, it starts recording. If I click this, it takes a picture. Pretty cool. I can do it from across the room while I leave my camera here. So that's one of the things I usually take. Another thing I usually take is another lens. I rock mainly this 16-35 lens that you're seeing me here. Very wide, big angle. I'm not even using half of this. But usually the trinity of camera lenses is the wide angle, and then I have the mid-range. This is a 28-75 from Tamron. I found this one at a pawn shop for literally a quarter of its price. This lens is like $800 and I found it for $250. So the fact that I got that deal is kind of insane. If I'm not taking a 28-75, I'm taking one of my other 2 semi-kit lenses. This is just a simple Nifty 50 1.8. For anybody that's a camera guy, you know that this is used primarily for photos. So it's very small, very robust. Love that little guy. And then we have the kit lens that my Sony camera came with. It's another 28-70, so it's kind of stupid that I have 2, if this camera likes to control the gimbal, please. So I have 2 28-70s. This one is a better one only because it is a 2.8, which means that it kind of deals with light a little bit better in the f-stop, so it's an f-stop 2.8. This one came with the camera. It's what they call a kit lens, and this is a 28-70 as well, but it is a f-stop of 3.5 to 5.6, so it's a variable f-stop. A lot of people don't like these types of lenses, and they're cheap to make because they're not as good as compared to one of these. I do plan on selling this one and getting another G Master lens similar to the one that you're looking at now, but this one, very good for what I use it for. Some other things that I'd just like to take, Peak Design camera strap. You already know I'm a Peak Design fiend, so every time I'm going out and just wanna hold my camera not in my hand all the time, it's very important to do that. I also carry the Peak Design cuff sometimes like this. I think this is actually like the strap or something, I don't really know, but this is a small version. This one's really fun to take on like really fast shoots. On the other side of this pack, I have a little divider where I usually keep my mouse for if I'm gonna be playing games, which is usually most of the time. And yeah, usually the top kind of has a magnetic clip at the top, very easy. It has a little clip that I keep my keys on, which is awesome. And then I have another battery pack just in case for my phone. Honestly, I don't really keep too much on the top layer. It's usually like a snack or like a trail mix or something. Deodorant, obviously, because I be stinky sometimes. And that's pretty much it, mainly. One cool thing about this backpack is that it has this back zipper for anything like a laptop. I keep my laptop in here, my wallet in here, my laptop charger, it's that big, and then some earbuds. You know, we rocking the Galaxy Buds, of course, because we're Google fiends as well. But that's pretty much all I do for my bag. It kind of varies from day to day, from depending on how I feel and what I want to shoot. A lot of the times I'm mainly taking the 28-70 if I'm going to do like really intense photography, but if I'm going to do mainly portraits, the 50 comes out. I usually mainly use my kit lens for when I'm streaming, only because it is the lightest and widest view lens that I have. 28 millimeters is not bad for my stream setup. This lens right here is a 16-35, which is in between of what this one can get to, but it's this lens itself is like a pound. It does not hold well with my rinky-dink little tripod that I have. So this lens is pretty chill. The 50 is just too zoomed in, and then this one's also kind of heavy for a streaming single tripod. So that's usually what I run. I'll be probably making another video on what I take to full productions, just because I think it's kind of cool to see what people take. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. I'll probably do Amazon links. If I can figure out how to do affiliate links, I'll do it, but honestly, I don't really care. So I'll probably put Amazon links to a majority of the big stuff in here. So yeah, if you're interested, let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.